Good evening and welcome to South East Today with Jeff Clark and me, Kerry Perkins. A Kent teenager says he's living in fear for his life after being targeted by a local gang. 14-year-old Bradley Howsam says he had a knife pulled on him, received a death threat and was then assaulted at his home in Dartford. Kent police deny there's a significant problem with criminal gangs in the area. But in an exclusive interview, a member of the MOS gang has told us local teenagers are carrying knives and are increasingly willing to use them. Colin Campbell has more.
I got into this bit and the lad was standing there. He went, "I'm going to kill you." Put his head up. I didn't realise what he had on him. I don't know if he had anything on him at the time.
14-year-old Bradley Howsam says he was targeted by a Dartford gang, threatened with a knife, told he would be killed, then assaulted.
So how frightened have you been?
Quite worried, yeah, because they carry around knives. They can get held of anything. Baseball bats, cricket bats, everything, metal bars. And they don't care where they do it and how they do it or when. They will.
Bradley and his family say they're now living in fear. They believe the local gang, known as MOS, will return.
When they turned around to my husband and said, "We are the MOS and we'll be back," that is quite a frightening thing. But the groups have just appeared and appeared and appeared and appeared, and I don't want my son or my sons to be one of the ones that have been stabbed.
Bradley and his younger brothers say they're now too frightened to walk to the local shops.
Yeah, I have seriously had someone with a metal bar before. I've put a boy in hospital 3 weeks.
This teenager is a member of the MOS gang. He agreed to talk to us if we concealed his identity. He admits he used to carry a knife and says other gang members regularly carry weapons.
Why are you a gang member?
Really for protection and not anything else, just protection of other gangs. That's really what I'm in it for.
And you used to carry a weapon?
So I did used to carry a weapon, but I didn't tell none of my family about it because I know they get worried, and because when we did have a lot of trouble with another gang, they weren't afraid to carry knives or guns, and so we had to measure up to what they're like. So.
Dartford's Central Park is one of the areas where members of the MOS gang regularly hang out. With around 150 members, it's believed to be one of the biggest gangs in the area. Some estimate that in total there are around 50 gangs in the county, and members join as young as 10 years old. Bradley and his family want the police to take more action against knife-carrying gang members. This teenager says he wants to give up on violence, but he fears if he leaves the gang he's in, he'll lose the protection of gang members, and that, he fears, could result in him becoming a target. Colin Campbell, BBC South East Today, Dartford.
So is it true that gang culture is on the increase in Kent? One of the accepted measures is knife-related crime. In the year up to May 2007, there were 573 knife crimes across the county. Last year, that figure rose to 599. That's an increase of 4.5%. But over the same period, knife-related crime in North Kent fell by 27%.
As far as gang crime is concerned, I don't believe we have a problem in North Kent with gang crime. I think there is possibly a misconception between gangs of youths that may well be just groups of youths gathering, as opposed to a gang culture, which, if we look at certainly the press and the national press that talks about gangs with guns and knives, that is not an issue with North Kent.
Now, the government does accept that both the victims and perpetrators of knife crime are getting younger. Its chief advisor on gangs admits there is a growing subclass of disaffected youngsters.
What we are seeing is younger people, really almost getting to a point where, the juvenile delinquent mentality combined with an offensive weapon. That combination is quite dangerous, and we are seeing more usage of those weapons.
Now, tonight, the head of the Metropolitan Police has promised to do everything he can to fight knife crime after 5 fatal stabbings came to light in the past 24 hours. So how do we persuade the youngsters in our region to turn their backs on gang culture? Well, Lennox Rogers used to be in a gang and he joins us now live from Greenhithe. Thanks for joining us. You used to be in the gang. You've started up a charity now to try to help youngsters. Have you seen an increase in gang-related incidents?
Yeah, most definitely. The project I run with my wife Bally is called Refocus, and it's a small group of ex-offenders who have changed their lives, and we share our stories with young people in schools, in youth groups, on the streets with gangs, and we take young people into prison like Glen Parva, Wood Hill and Chelmsford, and they get to have an experience of what prison life could be like if they make wrong choices and get into trouble. We also take them to court so they can see the consequences of their actions. And it's been an increasing problem, gangs in the Kent area. We work with a lot of youth services. We work with people like Kenwood Trust, Bexley Youth Service, the PRU. We work with the police across Kent and Grey Zebra doing a drug intervention support programme.
Yeah,
we're doing our own programme.
Okay,
but
just...
it's an increasing problem, and
that's
what's
the point
happening
I
is
want
a lot of young people are carrying...
Sorry, that's the point I want to come on to. You're saying it's an increasing problem. Kent Police say it's not significant. Yeah. Who's right?
Well, I think that the police, they've got a lot of intelligence and they don't want to scare people, but it's too late. I think people are afraid. They're afraid to tell the police some of what is going on, but the police are aware of it. The punishment that young people are getting is not harsh enough. And people think it's a joke. People want to move houses because they're afraid that, afraid that there's going to be reprisals.
All right,
I think...
Lennox, I'm sorry to interrupt. We've got to leave it there. Time's beaten us, but very interesting comments. Thank you very much for your time. That's Lennox Rogers live in Greenhithe. Now, if you want to watch an extended interview with Linda Howsam, the Dartford mother who fears for her sons because of the threat of gang violence, then log on to our website. It's bbc.co.uk/South East Today.